Vicky.
I'm Emily.
I'm Earl.
And I'm Ralph.
Alright, how many of you guys have ever been to a hospital? Well, if you have, you probably realize that most of the time when you're there, you spend more time with the nurse than you do the doctor. The nurse is the one that comes in and checks your blood pressure, the one that comes in and gives you your medicine, the one that comes in and checks up on you, while the doctor is just the one that comes in and gives you a little report and then leaves. And so this made me think, what do nurses really do? So today I'm going to tell you about the field of nursing and what's involved in it. First, I'll discuss the benefits of nursing. And then secondly, I'll lay out the disadvantages of nursing. And then finally, we'll talk about what it takes to become a nurse and if it's right for you. So to start off, I'll talk about why is it beneficial to pursue a nursing career. There's going to be three main reasons that I talk about. The first one is job security. According to the Bureau of Labor Statistics, in 2020 there will be a shortage of 800,000 nurses. That's 800,000 jobs that has to be filled. So if you're a nurse already, you can think in your mind, if that many jobs need to be filled, then my job's pretty secure. Secondly, it's advantage to become a nurse because of the flexibility. And as a nurse, you get to adjust your schedule to how it can fit your lifestyle. So you can either work at night, in the morning, early in the morning, graveyard shift during the day. And so, for example, a mother who wants to see their kid when they come home from school might work at night, so she can do that. Another way that is flexible is the location. If you need to move a different town, different city, into a different state, you can know that you're probably going to have a job when you get there, because I stated above, hospitals are always hiring because there's a big shortage of nurses. So when it comes to choosing your hours and location, there's good flexibility in the job. The third reason why it's an advantage to become a nurse is because you're doing meaningful work. You're going to be there with people when they're experiencing all kinds of emotions, whether it be happiness, sadness, angerness, and whether someone just had a loved one pass away, or whether you're alongside a woman as she's giving birth, you get to experience those and you get to be the person that makes an impact. Now that you've heard some of the benefits of being a nurse, let's look at the downsides to the career choice. Every career has its disadvantages, and nursing is definitely no exception. The first one is that it's physically exhausting. As a nurse, you're going to work very long shifts. Usually they last about 12 hours, and according to Career Trends, which is a company that studies different careers, it can even go longer than that. Sometimes at the end of the shift, they might have to stay and write notes about their patients so the next nurse can come in and prepare for that. And they might just have to do different things that makes them stay longer, so often the shifts are even longer than 12 hours. And whenever that happens, people are just exhausted. And working strange hours, like sometimes they'll have to work during the night, and that itself can be physically draining. If they're not used to working at night, and all of a sudden they have to, it can affect their sleep patterns, it can affect them working at their highest level. And in a field such as this, you always have to be aware, you always have to be awake and energized, because one wrong decision and it can greatly affect a patient. And the second disadvantage of nursing is that it can often be undervalued. According to Lita Cornegay, the founder of Nurse CEO, she says, "While nursing is one of the most trusted and loved professions, nurses are also one of the most undervalued and marginalized professionals in the healthcare industry." And what she's talking about is often this is patients and even maybe higher doctors. They view nurses as someone who are just there to assist, just someone that's there to help, and they don't really look at a nurse's job as being serious necessarily. And so if you're going into work every day and people are treating you like that, that can greatly affect you. And although nursing can be hard at times, the road to get there isn't too hard itself. When it comes to schooling, there's two different options. First one is to get a Bachelor's in Nursing and Science, or a BSN. And according to nursejournal.org, this takes 4 years to complete. Now there are definitely advantages of getting this, is because about 40% of jobs in the nursing field require you to have a BSN, so you're open to a lot more opportunities. And according to the same website, you'll make about $2,000 to $3,000 more in your salary. Second option is to become a registered nurse. According to the same company, it's going to take about 2 years to become a registered nurse. And there are disadvantages in this choosing this path, because you're more strict on what you can do as far as pursuing a a higher career or pursuing more in the nursing industry, you won't be able to get promoted as much and things like that. And so there's definitely advantages and disadvantages of each option. And then 2 questions you have to ask yourself when you're thinking about becoming a nurse is nursing right for you, and how caring are you for other individuals? You're going to be the one that talks to the people all the time. You're going to be the one discussing options, and just you have a lot of social interactions. So as a nurse, you definitely have to have good social skills, and also you have to have just a natural caring heart for people, because this requires a lot of things that might not seem fun, but if you truly care for people, the job will just be fun for itself. And although nursing can definitely be hard at times, in the end, one must be honest with themselves and say, is this right for me? There are definitely many upsides and downsides to becoming a nurse. I hope by listening to this speech, you have a better understanding of the different things that are involved in being a nurse and becoming a nurse. I hope you see that there are definitely advantages and disadvantages, and you have to weigh both of those when you think about it, and you have to just weigh the overall path it takes to get there. Being a nurse definitely takes a big heart, and Terry Guillemette says it perfectly when he states, "Nurses dispense comfort, compassion, and caring without even a prescription."